Big up everyone. What is happening? Liverpool Profit back again with another live stream. Hope everyone as well. Hope everyone is doing good. Big up to every single one of you. Big up to you all. Hope you are good. I'm doing well. I am doing well on this fine evening. Um, I don't know about anyone else, but I am definitely all right. Um, so guys, the plan today was to go live and discuss the Paris Saint-Germain game, the aftermath of that game, discuss a bit more about it. But we've had some breaking news regarding another Liverpool player who is also set to leave at the end of the season, which again is just my luck, isn't it? Just my luck. The news at the moment seems to go from bad to worse, to worse, to worse, to worse. He just lost to Paris Saint Germain yesterday, and now you get this announcement today. It's like, oh my god, here we go. But nonetheless, people, I don't know where to start, people. Where do we start today? Do we start on the news that's spoken, or do we start on the Paris Saint Germain aftermath? Um, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm a bit undecided still. I'm a bit undecided on where we start. I don't mind either way. That game yesterday was crap, though. Let's be honest. That was I say crap from a Liverpool perspective. I thought overall the football Paris Saint Germain played. Oh my god, the football they were playing. Jeez, Bayern Munich and PSG this week have been absolutely scintillating. Without a shadow of a doubt, the two best teams in the world at the moment. Honestly, the football they play, the managers they have at their disposals, the players they have, the quality they have. Oh, it's just a dream. So I'd imagine their fans, Paris Saint Germain fans, and um, Bayern fans are just over the moon right now and loving life, as they should be. To be fair, because I remember there was a time when we used to feel like this as Liverpool fans too. Those days are long behind us now, as we can see. But yeah, people, nonetheless, big up to everyone. I guess we'll start with this news regarding Andrew Robertson, people, because it is just spoken today. Imagine I'm out and about today doing some stuff. I come home, have a shower, come out of the shower, and I'm bombarded with messages on Instagram, TikTok, and uh, everywhere, just all social media platforms. Oh my God, Robertson's leaving Liverpool. Robertson's announced he's going to leave at the end of the summer. This, that, and this. Oh my God, another one, really. And we've just had the news on Mohamed Salah leaving a couple of weeks ago during the break. Now we come back after the break. We have two bad results, two dead performances, and now we get this news on top of that regarding Andrew Robertson. It's like, oh my God, when does it end? When does the pain and suffering end, people? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's a really bad time to be a Liverpool fan at the moment, isn't it? It's been a rough year overall, man. It's been a rough season and a rough year. You know, this all started in the summer with the tragedy, and it's just gotten worse since then. I don't want to use the tragedy as an excuse. I'm never going to sit here and do that. I'll never ever bring that up. But it's just been a tough year, man. Since winning the league, a lot of heartache, a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, and yeah, man. So we got news regarding Andrew Robertson today. Well, to be fair, guys, this is something I expected was going to happen. If I'm being real, Robertson was linked with a move to Spurs in January. Was it January when the transfer window was up? Yeah, January. Robertson was linked with a move away from Liverpool to Tottenham Hotspur, which for me, for the life of me, I'm going to say, be honest, I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand why Liverpool would be looking to sell him or to give him out to Tottenham Hotspur. Of all clubs, why? It made zero sense to me. And to me, I'm going to be honest. I said my piece on our January transfer window back at the time in January, but it was a really bad window. Yo, big up to Dansham, man. Big up yourself, brother. Big up Dansham, man. Hope you are well. Big up yourself, mate. I said my piece on the January window a couple of weeks ago, back when it happened in February, early February, when it closed. It was a poor window. It was a poor window from a point of view where we didn't sign no one. And it was also a poor window from the point of view as we just sat on our hands and did fuck all, basically. You know, while other clubs strengthened. Which for me is like, okay, what the hell? What the hell? Real talk. What the hell? You have a chance to fix up in January, bring some signings in, improve the squad, and we decide to do the opposite. What? It's just weird. You're doing glad to hear you're doing well, Dantrum. I'm well as well. Other than yesterday's result, I'm doing all right, bro. But yeah, people, I don't even get mad. I genuinely haven't gotten mad at a single game this season. Once I realized that we were at the title race and the title was gone, I mentally just checked out. I flicked the switch off. You know what I'm saying? I haven't given a shit since the United game, which was back in October, really. So yeah, man, I'm just it's just it is what it is, Dantrum. I look at it as it is what it is now. There's no point getting out. I've seen this for a whole season. I've become so used to turning the television on and seeing Liverpool play this football that it's just customary to me now. So don't even get mad. I expected to get defeated yesterday, and we did get defeated. You know, there were idiots online saying that the European heritage is going to kick in this that. Well, how did that go? How did that go, man? There weren't no European heritage kicking in. Man. There was nothing. We got absolutely smoked. Absolutely smoked. But yeah, back on the January window, it was a very, very, very strange window because not only did we not bring anyone in, you know, we let two of our main targets go elsewhere. And then we were looking to offload two key players in the squad, which made zero sense to me. Like, it's weird. It's very, very weird, man. Yo, big up to Eros, man. Big up yourself, Eros. Appreciate you being in the building, brother. Hope you are well. It's like, Bob, you don't strengthen in January, right? Okay, at least maintain the team we have, right? Instead, you want to look to sell certain players, which for me was weird as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Robertson being linked with Spurs. What? Why are you looking to sell him to Tottenham? Made zero sense to me. You know, Curtis Jones being linked to Inter Milan. What was that all about? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it almost feels like the hierarchy and the sporting directors haven't got a Scooby-Doo what they're doing. That's the sense I'm getting because that is just some dumb shit of the highest order. So absolutely idiot behaviour. You know, you don't bring in a centre-back, which is vital, and we're still suffering from that now. We've been suffering from not having a centre-back to rotate with Konate for the whole season. You know, and that's not going to change going into the last couple of games. We're suffering off that left wing without Lucho there. So Lucho in the summer didn't replace him. We've been suffering there all season, and we're still suffering there now. You know what I'm saying? Those are two key positions there, which the second that January window opened, we should have been in the market. We should have been going in there looking for a left winger and looking for a centre-back. Semenyo was perfect, guys. Perfect left winger for Liverpool. Again, a player who Liverpool can nurture and turn into a world beater. You know what I'm saying? Which is what we do a lot. We know the way we would do things. We sign a player. Over the years, we turn them into a world-class world beater, which is what we did with the likes of Mane, Salah, and all of them. Lot. You go in there, get Semenyo, you would have been a great replacement for Lucho. You know, is he as good as Lucho? I don't think so, personally, but he would have been a replacement, and he would have been someone to give Gakpo some competition. Centre-back, how the hell did we not sign a centre-back, man? How the hell did we not sign a centre-back when we saw that was a big, big issue? You know what I'm saying? Ibu, Konate. How do I say this about Ibu this season? At the beginning of the season, he was terrible. Let's be honest, he was absolutely terrible. And the majority of the season, he's been poor. Recently, since obviously the incident that happened with his father, of course, dying in tragic circumstances, he's actually been better. Now, I don't know why Konate's performances this season have dipped off. Well, I do know, but then I also don't know. You know, when he was struggling at the beginning of the season, putting in poor performances, I was thinking maybe it's because he's looking at Madrid. He's got Madrid in his eye and shit, and he feels if his head's being turned basically by Real Madrid, which is what most of us thought. And then you see the situation with his dad unfortunately dying, and his dad, of course, was suffering from an illness, which then gets you thinking, okay, was Konate maybe keeping it to himself? Was he keeping all this? Had his dad been sick for a while and he was holding it in and just, was he struggling with that? You know what I'm saying? We don't know what was wrong with Ibu and why his performances this season have been poor. Yo, big up to Don, bro. Big up to Don Versation TV, brother. Hope you are well, man. Make sure you are subbing to Don, people. Mods, do get Don's link in the chat, please. Big up yourself, man. Appreciate you being in, brother. Big up, man. 0 shots on target, bro. That's probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen, man. That's everything that we shouldn't be as Liverpool Football Club. You know what I'm saying? Going there, playing for a 0-0, parking the bus. It was terrible, man. I'll bring up the stats in a bit as well, but we had 26% of the ball. They completely dominated the game. We went in there to play for a 0-0 and to take it back to Anfield like that, and it backfired. It's just, what the hell, man? What the hell? We're lucky it was only 2-0, to be fair, though. It should have been a lot more, man. If they had their shooting boots on, and if Mohamed Ashfili hadn't made a couple of good saves, that would have been about 4 or 5, if we're being honest. So the fact we only got away with a 2-0 loss is crazy, man. Very lucky. Very lucky. But big up yourself, nonetheless, man. I appreciate you being in. So the Canate thing, we don't know what was going on there. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a mix of both, personally. You know, if his dad was, sick with something and he'd been sick for a while, naturally that's going to play on your mind. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then, of course, Madrid, we know Madrid were interested in him in the summer. That's been something that's been going on since the summer. And it's been hit and miss throughout the season. So Canate is one of those where his performances weren't good enough, you know what I'm saying? And the issue is there's no one there to rotate him with. That is the big issue that I have. If his performances are bad, cool, you drop him. We're in a position where we can't even drop him. We couldn't even drop him because who do we have behind him? Joe Gomez. Okay, Joe Gomez on his day, he's a decent centre-back. But that guy's not reliable. He's injury prone as fuck. The man's injured on and off every season. You know, he'll come, play a couple of games, get injured, miss most of the season. You can't rely on Joe Gomez. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? The centre-back we bought in Leone, unfortunately, ended up getting injured at the beginning of the season against Southampton. So that's unfortunate. Other than that, we had no one there. There's no centre-backs there other than Gomez and a youngster, which is, again, it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? We used to have decent centre-back options before. You had VVD there, Canate, Gomez, Matip. Matip's someone who I still don't think we replaced, by the way. You know, he was someone who was really reliable. It's like, how can we be a big club and only have a youngster and an injury-prone centre-back as our covers? It's poor, man. It's poor. And Canate, again, he knew Canate was looking at the bench thinking, well, Gomez ain't going to come in and replace me. There's no one else there. I'm saying the man was just getting away with murder, let's be honest. He was just getting away with murder, and he's been doing it for the most of the season. Granted, recently, I think Ibu's performances have improved since the Newcastle game at home, the 4-1. I think he has improved. He still had an iffy game here and there, but he's not been as bad consistently as he was earlier in the season. So I will give him his flowers there. But it's still one of those where Canate is not... He's prone to a bozo moment, isn't he? He's prone to a bozo mistake. He's just got that gene in him, which is what it is, man. You can't really get rid of that gene, can you? You know what I'm saying? Some defenders just have it. You look at Romero at Tottenham, and he's a perfect example. Decent centre-back, but he has a bozo gene. Gets sent off every now and then. Something you can't get rid of. He's always going to be like that, you know what I'm saying? So, Canate, again, he's one of those who's got the bozo gene. But on his day, I maintain it. I think Canate is a very good centre-back. You know what I'm saying? Issue is he hasn't shown that this season. Big up to Andre, man. Big up Andre, brother. I knew we were going to get battered yesterday, man. So did I, Andre. I don't think any realistic Liverpool supporter had any hope going into that game. You know, if you did, I'm sorry. It was just pure delusion. Anyone who had hope, it was pure delusion. I'm saying, what gave anyone the idea that we were going to go there and beat them? We can't even beat a Manchester City side who this season have been average, who have beaten us 9-1 across 3 games this year. You know, that's the aggregate score, 3-0, 4-0, 2-1. What the hell were we going to do against the informed Paris Saint-Germain away? We were always going to get battered, Andre. And again, anyone who was who thought we weren't going to get battered, I'd love to know what you were smoking, man, genuinely. I would love to know what you were smoking because it was just plain stupidity and delusion of the highest order, man. You know I'm saying? This ain't Liverpool from 2018. We'll be sent to Liverpool from 2021, sorry. We're just not built like that no more. I'm saying the managers just sucked all sort of. I don't have joy watching Liverpool no more, man. I don't have joy. I don't have hope. I don't have optimism. I feel negative, guys. I think I do well to hide my real feelings on how I'm doing or how I feel about the team and the club and the situation. You know, I try and be as calm, collected in front of the camera as I can. Honestly, I'm seething inside, man, of what's going on. I'm seething. I feel negative all the time. You know, there's games where I've looked at it and thought, you know what, if we just lose, maybe a change will happen. I'll admit, I've sat there at times this season and kind of wanted us to lose. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've kind of wanted us to lose, just so it gets the manager gone. I don't like to say that, but that's the point where I'm at now. I'm saying same shit will happen at Anfield. Andre, we haven't got a hope at Anfield, man. I see people doing the whole Anfield factor and this. It's only 2-0. Look, if it wasn't for them being a bit, if it wasn't for them being unclinical in front of goal, if they were smarter in front of goal, if they could finish their dinner, and if Mohamed Arsfili didn't make 4 or 5 good saves in the game, that would have been 4 or 5-0. I'm saying we haven't got a hope at Anfield, Andre. The way we're playing, the football we play, we got no hope, bro. Genuinely. This ain't, like I said, this ain't 2018. This ain't 2019. It's not going to happen. People are just doing the whole Anfield factor because of what happened against Barcelona a couple of years ago. This isn't the same team. You know, we have a new manager now. A worse manager, by the way. This is not the same Liverpool team from back then. It's not going to happen. And anyone who thinks that, again, it's just pure delusion. It's just pure delusion and pure hope. That's how I see it. Because I can't sit there logically and see a way we're going to turn a 2-goal lead around against arguably the best team in the world. In my opinion, one of the 2 of the best teams. One of the best 2 teams in the world, should I say. Because I do think them and Bayern are the top 2 teams in the world at the moment. It's not going to happen, Andre. And as you said here, look, here we go. They're going to continue. They're going to come Anfield and play. You think they're going to come Anfield and sit back on a 2-goal lead? Look what they did at Anfield last season. They're not afraid, Andre. Like you said, they're going to come. They're going to play their football. They're going to play the exact same way they played at home at Anfield. They're not going to be afraid. This Liverpool team, there's nothing to be afraid of when you play this Liverpool team. Genuinely, there's nothing to fear. Whether it's Anfield or not, there's nothing. They're going to come. They won there last year. They'll have the muscle memory of having won here last year. And it's just going to be... If anything, Andre, I can see us... Put it this way. I can see them scoring at Anfield. Now, whether they beat us at Anfield or whether we win or draw, whatever, I see them scoring at Anfield. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. If anything, they're going to score another couple there, you know. And the aggregate score will go from 3-1 to 3-0 to 4-0 or whatever. I just don't see a world where we're going to turn this around. Unless a miracle happens. You know, unless the players come together and say, you know what? Screw what the manager's saying. Let's go out there and give our all for the fans and for the badge and for the club. Other than that, I'm going to be honest. I don't see a world where we're coming back. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely don't. And also, Andre, Slot kind of got proven out to be a bit of a hypocrite yesterday. Yeah, in case you didn't know. The man's constantly been complaining for weeks that, you know what, since we're talking about the Paris Saint-Germain game, we may as well get into the aftermath of it now. We'll talk about the Robertson news later on in the stream. But he's been complaining for weeks, Slot has, in Premier League pre-match press conferences of how he doesn't enjoy watching the style of football in the Prem. He doesn't find games exciting because of the way the football is. Sending slide digs at, we know who. He's sending slide digs at Arsenal and them not over there. So you complain about the football being too defensive and the football not being enjoyable to watch, right? You then go away to Paris Saint-Germain a couple of weeks later and you play park the bus defensive football. Now, if that isn't hypocrisy of the highest order, I don't know what is, man. You know what I'm saying? You complain about Arteta and Arsenal being defensive. At least they're winning games being defensive. You know what I'm saying, what are we doing? We went defensive against Paris Saint-Germain and we still got cooked. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's hypocrisy of the highest order. The second his back was up against it, he went back on all of his principles and decided to just park the bus and hope for the best. That's what that lineup was. I looked at the lineup, I saw 5 at the back and I was like, yeah, it's going to be a long night. We're not here to play football today. And we weren't there to play football at all. Let's be honest. Was there at any point in that game where you felt Liverpool were having a good spell? Where we were having a spell where we were dominating a bit? We were, you know, making something happen? Sorry, I didn't feel at all. I thought Paris Saint-Germain were in control of the game for the whole 90 minutes. Again, look at the way they were moving the football around. Look at the way they were keeping the ball, moving the football around. With ease, with class. And you look at us, what we were doing, just sitting back like a bunch of scrubs and taking it. Honestly, man. Honestly, what can you even say at this point? It's becoming a theme to lose and expect little of your team. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's an issue. And that's again, the expectation is slowly being lowered. With the club, the managers. Well, I say the club. I mean the manager here. He's completely lowered us fans' expectations. We don't go into games excited no more. We don't go into games expecting our team to play some nice, fluid football. To be an all-out attacking side. To score 4 or 5 goals and look scintillating. We don't expect that no more. We expect to go into games bored, hoping that someone can produce a moment of individual brilliance and we can win based off of that. That's for me what I've felt this season. Games where we've gone into games that we've gone into. Sorry, I've just sat there and gone like, I'm hoping someone can pull off a moment of individual brilliance here. I'm hoping Szoboszlai can step up with a free kick. I'm hoping maybe Wirtz can pull off a bit of magic. Salah can pull off a bit of magic. I never used to have that feeling. I used to go into games excited, looking forward to see the team play, because I knew everyone was gonna give their all for the badge. We were gonna see some good football, and we were gonna play as a team. You know what I'm saying? We were gonna play as a team. We don't play as a team no more. Do we play as a team? When was the last time we actually had a good team performance? I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember. People will say Galatasaray. I just think, again, that was moments of individual brilliance from certain players. People might say Newcastle at home again, individual brilliance. But last time, as a team, we played good collectively. It was probably late 2024 when Stott first came in. A couple of games then. For the majority of Stott's tenure at Liverpool, we haven't played good football, and we've relied on individual moments from Salah. Last season, let's be honest, if Mo didn't have the campaign that he did, one of the best Premier League campaigns ever, would we have won that title? Ask yourself that. If Mo didn't put up crazy numbers last year and carry us, because he did carry us, let's be honest, would we have won that league last year? Ask yourself that. Let's remove Mohamed Salah from last season. Let's take him out of a Liverpool team from last year, right? Would we have still won that league? I sincerely doubt it. And also, we kind of scampered over the line towards the end. We were dropping points left, right, and centre. Started losing a couple of games. If Arsenal had been a bit consistent, they could have really pushed some pressure on us. But again, because they were so poor and inconsistent, we were able to get over the line. But again, at the time, you don't see these things. In hindsight, you look back at it and you think, okay, yeah, signs were there. We just didn't. We just ignored them. I'm not going on a rant, by the way, people. This is me being calm. In case you think I'm going on a rant, no. I'm very much calm right now. Team is spineless. It is indeed, Andre, and that's something that I never thought I'd say or feel about a Liverpool team, that they're spineless. VVD, Verge basically came out after the City game and said we gave up. Big up to Vigilante as well for letting me know about that quote, because I completely forgot about it after I read it on Saturday. He basically came out and said we gave up after the Haaland penalty. What? This is Liverpool, man. We don't know what the word giving up means. We don't know what the word giving up means over here. And you had the cheek to say we gave up. Oh, my God. And it totally shows that we gave up, because you look at the performance against City overall. It was a bad loss. They were all over us like a ras. We gave up, Verge actually came out and said we gave up. Again, well, what's happened to Virgil, people? What's happened to the Virgil that was under Jurgen? That colossal wall. What's happened to him, man? Has Slot really dug his nails into Virgil that much? Because now I listen to Slot speak, and I'm listening to Virgil speak, and Virgil is very much starting to mirror what Slot says. Has he really dug his claws into him that much? Real talk. It's mental, guys. Absolutely mental. Didn't mean to do that, Don. It's all right, Andre. Oh, accidentally hit a comment. Phone was in. It's all right, Andre. No problem, bro. Apologies, Don. If you are still watching, bro, I don't think you meant to do that. Apologies, bro. Big up to Brian, man. Hope you are well, Brian. Big up yourself in the building. Big up, man. Robertson bought out for Liverpool. Do you reckon he leaves the Premiership? It's confirmed, Brian. Robbo's off, man. The statement came out from the club today. He announced it on his Instagram. Did a video as well for Bridge Hill and I confirmed it. Robbo will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. So yeah, but again, a bit more on the PSG game, people. I will get onto the Robbo news in a bit. It's a bit too early, I think, in this stream to do that. The setup was a 5 at the back. If I just share the screen here, people, actually, I'm gonna share the screen. Okay, so we'll look at the stats in a bit. Let's look at the lineup. Hopefully, you guys can see this. So this was Paris Saint-Germain's lineup. That goalkeeper was their goalkeeper was just, by the way, people. Again, if we were smart and if Slot was smart, he'd have told the lads, our attackers, target that goalkeeper. He'll make a mistake. We saw how dodgy that keeper was against Chelsea at the Parc des Princes in the round of 16 when Chelsea went and played them. You know, one of the goals was on him. So that guy's not a good keeper. He's not a good keeper. And we proper fucked up by not putting some pressure on him. I just look at their team, guys. They've got such a quality team. They really have such a quality team. By the goal, PSG do need to sort their goalkeeper situation out. They do need to bring in a proper keeper. Other than that, if they fix the goalkeeping situation up, that's a quality team. And look at that: Nuno Mendes, Paco, Marquinhos, Hakimi. That's a great back four. That midfield just oozes class, doesn't it, guys? Vitinha, João Neves, Zaire Emery. That midfield completely dominated Gravenberch and McAllister. They swarmed all over them too. What a class midfield. And look at that attack as well, man. What an attack. Kvaratskhelia, Dembele and Doué. Man, if that defence is running at an out-of-form Van Dijk, an ageing Van Dijk, should I say, an out-of-form Kanate, Frimpong and Kerkez, you aren't great defensively as fullbacks. It's a long afternoon than it was. Man, their team is just really good, isn't it? They've got such a good team. That team is young too. They spend money in the right ways. Yes, Andre, they have a manager who knows what he's doing in the market. They have a manager who spends the money correctly. You know what I'm saying? And again, they're young. They're only going to get even better as they get older. You know what I'm saying? And again, PSG owners are ambitious. They care, don't they? You know, they want to win. They want to be at the top. They spend money every year. You know what I'm saying? So, again, they've just got a quality team, man. All around the pitch, they've got quality. That midfield, João Neves, Vitinha, Zaire Emery. Vitinha, you can argue, is the best midfielder in the world. Dembele, Ballon d'Or winner, Doué, Kvaratskhelia, some great players. Nuno Mendes, Hakimi, Marquinhos, senior pro. They just need to sort their keeper situation out. If they do, they've a problem, man. Like they're not already. Let's look at our lineup then. You know, seeing as we disgraced ourselves yesterday, let's see what we went with. Here, it does say a 4-2-3-1, but it was a 5 at the back. It was a 3 at the back, should I say. But also a 5 at the back. So, Gomez shifted across to make it a 3. Kerkez and Frimpong were playing as wing backs. I think Maka and Gravenberch were then the 2 in midfield. And then you had Wirtz, Szoboszlai here. And then you had Ekitike up top as the sole striker. It was a 3 at the back, but it was a 5 at the back, really, because Frimpong and Kerkez were pushing back to make it a 5. So it was pretty much park the bus, hope for the best. Completely let them control the game. Not a good idea to be playing a 5 at the back when your defenders, when your fullbacks are Frimpong and Kerkez, because let's be honest, those two are not good defensively. They're great attacking wise. You know what I'm saying? They're great at bombing down the flanks, going forward, putting crosses in. You know what I'm saying? Defensively, that's a bad idea, putting them in the 5 at the back. You know, I think personally for me, yesterday's game would have been perfect for Bradley and Robertson. It's a shame Bradley's injured, but Bradley, we know, is a more defensively solid right back than Frimpong. He would have been perfect for yesterday's game, playing there. Robbo, again, we know he's a lot better defensively than Kerkez. And he's more experienced too. It's Paris Saint-Germain away. We need some experience on the pitch. Players that have played at this level before. Put Robbo in. It's a shame Bradley was injured though, but Bradley and Robbo would have been perfect. I think the back 5 would have worked better off then. But you play Frimpong and Kerkez there. They're not good defensively. They're going to get torn to shreds by Dembele, Doué and Kvaratskhelia. You know what I'm saying? So that was poor from Slot. poor in the sense of he didn't put Robbo in over Kirkers. Can't really do nothing with Frimpong because Bradley was unavailable. But again, it was very much a 5 at the back. Sit back, man. Sit back and hope for the best. Big up to my brother Indian Scouser, man. Big up yourself, brother. Hope you are well. Mo and Robbo leaving. Yeah, bro. Robbo is off as well at the end of the season. Ibu staying with the gaffer. Why is he staying? What the fuck? No chance he stays if we miss out on UCL, but we can't believe the rumours we just heard. Oh, you know what, bro? Bro, I don't know if you've seen what I've seen on Instagram, but what FSG said about them backing him and believing in him, it worries me. I think you probably seen the same thing, but if it's true, fucking hell, we are in big trouble, bro. If they actually want to stick with him and back him, we're fucked going into next. I personally I'm considering just locking it off for next year, man. I'm not even watching. Kovacic. Oh my god, Andre, here we go. The man is not even in his prime yet. He's still young. What a player he's gonna be in his prime when he gets to his prime. Oh, he's gonna be a player, man. He's definitely on the way to being world class easily. 5 at the back without the ball, and Szoboszlai was fake 9 at times too, with Hugo on the left. I mean, here we go. Bro, I don't know what Slot's plan was yesterday. He's a hypocrite, bro. Indian Scouser, the guy, is a hypocrite. He was complaining a couple of weeks ago, saying that he doesn't enjoy football in the Premier. He doesn't enjoy watching it because it's too defensive. And then he goes and sets up like this against Paris Saint-Germain away, doing the exact same thing he was crying about. I mean, what a hypocrite and what a coward, man. Such a cowardly way of playing. Honestly. It was a shocking game, though, but I'm sure you'll agree we were lucky to only lose by 2-0. Mohamed really made some good saves to keep us in it. Indian Scouser, but I'm hoping they're just saying it. I'm hoping they're just saying it as a you know what, we'll put it out there that we're gonna keep him this that. They just wanna show they're behind the manager and that, but they can't seriously be sat there and thinking this guy's gonna lead us forward for the next 3 or 4 years. They can't be. If they are, we are in trouble, man. We are in big trouble. But I hope it's not true, Indian Scouser. Like I said, because Zabi's available and he's there, the club would be dumb not to act, man. FSG would be crazy not to act. Now, if Zabi wasn't there, if he was still at Madrid and doing well, we would be in a big problem right now because there'd be no one else available. And then I think they would stick with Slot. Because he's there, though, I just can't see a world where they'd be dumb enough to stick with Slot. It'd be madness. Big up to Chris, my brother, man. Big up my brother, Chris, man. Hope you are well. Big up yourself, man. Glad Chris was on the watch long as well. Make sure you sub to Chris, lads. Marge, do put Chris's link in the chat if you can, please. Big up yourself, Chris, bro. My 2-0 prediction was spot on. It was, bro. It was indeed spot on, Chris. Yeah, you did predict a 2-0. You said we weren't going to get smoked, which you were right on, to be fair. Which you were right on. But also, I still think we were very fortunate it was only 2-0. Like I said, Mohamed really made some quality saves, didn't he? He made some quality saves. Pure quality, man. It's almost like Alisson was in the net. Real talk. It genuinely is. Big him up, man. Big him up, man. Big up yourself, Chris, man. Ooh. But yeah, big up yourself, Chris, man. I appreciate you being in the building. Hi all. Till we have Slot, we can't win any match. Ramchen, I'm going to bring up our fixtures in a bit, but I don't see where we're getting a point. Honestly, the last couple of games in the Prem, I can't see where we're getting a win. I can't sit there and say, yeah, that game is 3 points. I can't do it. I can't. Exactly, man's been propping up PSG all year and complaining about the Prem only to go defensive and play with long throws as our only threat. Yeah, bro, exactly, man. And Indians, I'm glad you noticed it as well, bro. The guy loves PSG. Every chance he gets, he bigs them up. He's constantly like, oh, PSG this, PSG that. Bro, are you infatuated with them or something? Like, what the hell's going on? Real talk, he's so obsessed with that club. It's mad. Like, I get you admire them, but Jesus Christ, man. You absolutely... I watched the match, no way, Liverpool quality. Oh, Ramsey, there's not a hope in hell, bro. Nah, do you think they're going to... Put it this way, do you think they're going to come to Anfield and be scared? They won there last year. They're going to come, play their game, and the chances are they'll score more goals in the second leg as well. We might score 1 or 2 being the home team. I'm not saying we won't. but they are also going to score goals against us. So I think it's done personally. You could actually pull it back. I don't think you will, but Liverpool in Europe, anything is possible. That is true, Chris. In Europe we can do something. But also I will say though, the teams in the past had something about them. When we pulled it back against Barcelona, that team had something about them. They had the fight, the grit. I'm saying, I just don't feel this Liverpool team's got that heart, that hunger, that fight. The manager certainly doesn't have it, and if he doesn't have it, that's going to reflect on the players, isn't it? I'm saying, if Slot is here, I can see Everton. Oh, easily, Ramsey. Everton are doing well, man. They've got, before the break, they was playing some good stuff. I'm saying, slapped up Chelsea. We've got to play Everton as well at the Dickinson ground, away from home. We've got to go to their ground and play them. So, Lord help us there. First derby at a new ground. They're going to be up for it. And I seriously doubt we get a win. Seriously doubt it. Big up to Chris, man. No problem, man. No problem, brother. No problem at all. One of the real ones, man. I'm saying, no problem at all. Listen, Slot always complains teams playing low blocks and he can't play his football. What about yesterday? He's a scammer and a bluff. Yeah, Ramsey, we've known, to be fair, he's a scammer for a while. We've known he's a scammer for a while, bro. It was evident around November time that he wasn't going to take us forward and he wasn't the right man for the job. But it is what it is, man. I think we're going to have to suffer with him for the remainder of the season, and in the summer we can bin him off. Eros is laughing; he's loving this. Damn, started new. I won't go that far, Eros, man. As much as I don't rate Slot, I'll never compare him to Arteta, man. As much as I don't want him at Liverpool, Slot still does have a league title to his name. He still does have a league title. Granted, whatever way you think he won it, this, that, he still is a Premier League winner. You know what I'm saying? I'll never compare him to Arteta. You know what I'm saying? There's still a level. Arteta is here. Slot is still middle. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and the Slot also won things in the Dutch league as well. So yeah, I'll never go that far as to comparing him to him. You know what I'm saying? I think you should take Arteta next season. Chris is trolling there. It won't happen, Chris, bro. He played for Everton, remember? He's an ex-Evertonian. He represented the Blues, so there's no chance Liverpool will take him. And to be fair, I remember a couple of years ago when he came Anfield and started giving it big to Klopp. He's just he's everything that Liverpool fans will despise. There's not a hope he comes to Liverpool. But I know you were joking there, bro. I know you. Everton, though, if Everton ever get rid of David Moyes, I can see that happening for sure. Let's look at the stats for the game, people. These stats were ugly, man. They were ugly. So there we go. Right, if I just zoom in on that a bit. 17 shots for Paris Saint-Germain, 3 for Liverpool. Dominated. 7 on target for them, 0 for us. When was the last time we had 0 shots on target in the game? I can't remember. Must be years. Ball possession, they completely dominated. 74% of the ball to our 26%. Sheer domination. They just controlled the game and dominated the ball. Dictated the play. Look at these stats are ugly, man. I haven't seen stats this bad in a long time. You never see this under Jurgen Klopp. You never see this have this less amount of the ball and be this bad and play like cowards. But we did. Fuck me, man. That's dark, man, isn't it? That is dark. Dark. Ugh, man. I'm a diehard fan, but not idiot. Decided to watch Liverpool matches anymore. Decided not to watch Liverpool matches anymore. To start, Ramsey, listen, you're well within your right to do that, bro. The football is diabolical. It's terrible. You're mad. You're not mad to do that. You know what I'm saying? I understand it completely, bro. Even PSG at Anfield, we have to be realistic. Yes, exactly. We're not going to go through it for being realistic, innit? He's an Everton legend, but not Arsenal. Wouldn't even wish Arteta on you guys. Yeah, I know you guys hate the guy, man. I know it. If you ask Evertonians though in Liverpool, Chris, if you ask Everton fans in Liverpool, they speak very highly of Arteta as a player. They really, really like the guy. So I can definitely see him there in a couple of years' time potentially. The stats are crazy, bro. The stats are crazy. It just shows you how dominant they were and how cowardly we were. You know what I'm saying? Shows it all. Watching Slots Liverpool is just a waste of time. Imagine I work all day and stay late watching football and sleep at 3 a.m. Wake up at 6 a.m. Go work. Slot is what he is. He's just a bluffer. He's a bluffer, bro. He is, man. He is. Look, I'm sure Arne Slot is a lovely man, man. From what I see of the guy, he's a lovely man. You know what I'm saying? No issue with him as a person at all. I'll never attack him like that. As a manager, though, he's just not it. He's just not good enough, and he's not the guy who's going to take us to the next level. We need to make a change. Yes, Xabi Alonso is a risk on paper. We know that. You know, we know he's a risk. Club legend, it's got potential to go south. But it's either take that risk or you stick with Slot. And me, I'm taking the risk every day of the week over sticking with Slot for another year. That is something I do not want to do. I do not want to do. You know what I'm saying? At all. But yeah, that's that for the game, guys. If I talk about more about the game, I'll go mental, man. You know, it just hurts, man, seeing us this bad. It hurts, man. It really does. This ain't the Liverpool I grew up loving, man, and watching. If we now move on to the other breaking news that came out today, actually, regarding Andrew Robertson, which is sad, but I expected this. I think a lot of us expected this news was coming as well. If we're being honest, we expected it. So if I just bring this up as well, it came from the official Liverpool account, so it's genuine. Fabrizio Romano also reported it too, so it is genuine. It's everywhere. So Liverpool Football Club have confirmed that Andrew Robertson will bring his Reds career to an end at the conclusion of the current season. He will do so as a Liverpool legend. I mean, I don't know why do you have to complicate the statement? Why can't we just write, we can confirm Andrew Robertson will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the current season? Why do we have to write, we can confirm Andrew Robertson will bring his Reds career to an end at the conclusion of the current season? Just write he's going to leave at the end of a season, man. Why have we got to make it sound all smart? But yeah, other than that, guys, Robbo is leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. He's announced it on Instagram. He's done a video. He's off. Robbo is off. And what can I say, man? What can I say about this guy? Because he's someone that I really admire, and he's someone that I'll always look at and hold in high self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? What a man, what a legend, what a player. You know, I'm surprised he didn't go in the summer, to be fair. Chris, he was close, to be fair. He was close to the move to Atletico Madrid, I believe it was, but it fell apart last minute. He was close to moving in January too. We were looking to sell him to Tottenham. Tottenham were looking to try and sign him. That almost happened, but he got pulled last minute because we needed the options. I knew this was going to happen. If it wasn't going to happen this summer, it was going to happen this summer coming. Last summer, it was going to happen this summer coming. Look, I can never look at Andrew Robertson and say, I don't see a player that gives his all. I don't see a player that fights for the badge, that cares about the club, because he cares about the club. I've never seen a game where he hasn't given his all. You know, I've never seen a game where he hasn't fought for the badge. You know what I'm saying? This is a man who, again, was a reject at Hull City. You know, was working in McDonald's at one point just to pay bills. And a couple of years later, 8-9 years later, he's a senior part of Liverpool Football Club. What a story, man. What a story. You know what I'm saying? And what a man as well. I'm saying very pivotal to how we played under Jurgen Klopp, bombing up and down, him and Trent, bombing up and down those flanks, putting crosses in. What a guy. What a guy. But again, it just shows, with his age, there was no way we were going to keep him. There was no way he was going to stay with the age he's at. It was always going to be in his interest and everyone else's best interest to depart. Plus, he probably still feels that he can play football to the highest level. He probably still feels he can play. But his game time at Liverpool is going to be limited if he stays going into next season. Kerkez is going to become that main choice left back going forward. Robbo's game time is going to be very limited. He's going to become the cover, and he's going to become the guy who plays the cup games and that. And I don't think he wants that, which I can't begrudge him of. You know what I'm saying? I can't begrudge him of. Very close to moving to Atletico in the summer. I thought it was going to happen. It didn't. Almost moved in the January window to Spurs, like I said, which again, weird transfer saga, which didn't happen. What a player. What a player. Of course, for me, one of the best left backs in Premier League history. Definitely one of the best left backs in Liverpool history. Arguably our best ever left back. A great player. You know what I'm saying? Only recently became our vice captain as well. All I can say is thank you for the memories, man. I'll always look back at Robertson's time at Liverpool in a great manner. Gave me some good memories as well. Very pivotal in us winning what we won, the league, Champions League, etc. for Klopp and for Slot last season. Very pivotal left back. And it's really the end of an era, isn't it? It really is the end of an era because we had Mo announce he was leaving but in the international break. Again, Mo was someone who was very, very important down the years for us. Arguably our most important player in the Klopp era and for Slot last year. So you have that. You then come back after the break, lose 2 games badly, and then you have Robbo leaving too. You know what I'm saying? So that's that's 2 Liverpool legends that are going to be departing us this summer, which is sad, but it's the way of life, man. Out with the old, in with the new, they'll say. You know what I'm saying? It hurts, but it is what it is, isn't it? Robbo and Mo both off in the summer. Yeah, I can confirm Slot will be Liverpool manager till the end of the season. No reason they sack him or he resigns. If not, it's not done. Rampton, I agree. I think he's staying for the end of. Well, he's here for the remainder of this season. I believe he stays for this season, but I can't see a world where he's here in the summer, and I can't see a world where he's the manager next season with Xabi Alonso available and waiting pretty much. So yeah, I think he stays for this season. I do. Scotland blessed with 2 great left backs. See, they are, Chris. They've got 2 quality left backs in Robertson and Tierney. Kieran Tierney's another one who's a very, very good left back. They're blessed. Yeah, you're right there, but they've got 2 quality fullbacks there that they can pick from. Robertson losing one more. We are. Rampton, we're losing a fighter. Something that we're lacking in the team currently, a fighter. You know, that's something that Robertson is. I can never look at him and say you're not a fighter, you don't give your all, because he does. And he's been like that for years. He's one of those players that if he plays for your team, you love him. But if he plays for another team, you absolutely hate the guy because he's a wind-up merchant. But it is what it is, man. Everyone has, I think most clubs have got that type of player. It'll be interesting seeing again what happens now because that's more work for us to do in the summer, isn't it? You know, these 2 announcements with Salah's announcement and Robbo's announcement have given us more work to do in the summer now. You know, along with needing a centre-back coming in. You know what I'm saying? 2 centre-backs potentially, because we don't know Konate's situation. Along with needing a DM, along with needing a right winger because Mo's leaving, along with needing a left winger to replace Lucho, which we didn't do last summer. We're now also going to need another left back because, in my opinion, Tsimikas, I think we know he isn't good enough, and I don't think he stays. So he goes, and Robbo goes. We're going to need another left back. So it's another summer of work to do, guys. You know, this has gone from being a summer where I felt you bring in a centre back, you bring in a DM, a left winger when we're cool. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to do much. Now it's like, okay, Mo's off, so you need to get a right winger in to replace him. You know what I'm saying? Potentially too, because Chiesa could be off as well. You know what I'm saying? If Chiesa goes, we've got no right winger, so we might need 2. There's links on Gakpo going. I don't think he does, but there are links of him going. So you need a left winger anyway to replace Diaz. Tsimikas will probably stay out on loan or he'll leave. So there's a space there now with Robbo going that we need to fill. Centre back, you don't know what's going to happen with Konate. He could stay or go. If he goes, we need 2 centre backs. If not, we still need one. I'm saying the manager situation is going to flip. It's going to be different. So there'll be a new coach coming in. A lot of uncertainty, guys, going into next season in the summer. It's kind of worrying. And you're saying it spot on, Chris. We are in rebuild mode. We are officially in a rebuild mode. It's kind of out with the old, in with the new. You know, you're seeing the remnants of Klopp's team start to fade out now. Mo's off, Robbo's off, Alisson and Verge are still here, but I can see Verge moving on next summer as well. Alisson is the only one that I can really see staying because we know keepers can play till 39, 40. So yeah, man, the remnants are slowly dying, and it's now again we're trying to build another team now that can kind of replicate what that Klopp team did. But again, it's going to be incredibly hard to replicate what we did under Jurgen, under Xabi Alonso, if it is him or someone else with a younger squad. Because again, that was just a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It really was, man. So yeah, Robbo's off in the summer. I hope he gets a good reception on his final. I hope him and Salah both get a good reception on that final game against Brentford at Anfield. It'll be an emotional one for sure. 100% it'll be an emotional one. They've been such good servants to us down the years. They've been so pivotal to us winning the trophies that we've won. I want to see them given that send-off they deserve. And again, Same on the team, man, for not putting in a bit more hard work for Salah with his announcement. Not granted, he needs to put in the hard work too, but they could step the game up and they didn't. I'm hoping that they do it with Robbo, but again, I have very little hope. Very little hope. Yeah, let's hope we can do something, man. I mean, we're probably not going to win a trophy, which is sad. Can you imagine Mo Salah and Andrew Robertson both leaving Liverpool on the back of a trophy this season after all they did, after all they won? It just doesn't feel right. But again, it just shows the state of the season this season, how it's been. Just shows the state of the season. But yeah, this Saturday is going to be an emotional game anyway. It's the first Anfield game in the league since Salah announced he's leaving. Now we know Robbo's also gone. So it'll be a very emotional one, for sure. But yeah, an announcement that I expected was going to happen, and it's happened. Robbo is off in the summer. He leaves Liverpool, or he will be leaving Liverpool. Again, goes down as a club legend. And yeah, very thankful that I had that guy at my club. Very thankful that I grew up with him as a left back. We'll always see him and hold him in high regards. But yeah, Chris, you're right. Rebuild mode, and we're gonna have to get this rebuild spot on, in my opinion. If we get if we bring in some of the wrong type of players, it could be an issue. You know what I'm saying? So we need to rebuild properly. Get in the right winger. It's gonna be incredibly hard to replicate what Mo did. It's gonna be incredibly hard to even, step onto the pitch, and play in his role as a right winger. Mo is someone who I don't think ever really gets replaced. But again, you got Isak there who can make up for his goals. So you got to bring in the right choice, right winger. You got to replace Luis Diaz, bring in the right choice, left winger. Don't bring in someone similar to Gakpo who's hitting and missing front of goal. We need someone who's clinical off that left wing. Gravenberch is in a DM. Yesterday, I didn't touch on it earlier, but Gravenberch for that second goal, shocking. Just let Kvaratskhelia run past him. Very poor. That shows he's not a DM. And he's been exposed this season as not being a DM. Not being the guy that we can rely on as DM. I think he can play well further up the pitch in the 8, but bring in a DM, so that's important. If Konate stays, we still need another centre-back being brought in. If he goes, we need 2 centre-backs being brought in. A left-back being brought in. Ooh, that's... How much signings is that then? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 5 signings, potentially 6 if Konate goes. So that's more money needing to be spent. And with the money we spent this summer gone, and seeing how it's gone completely south, are the club really going to spend again? Do we trust the FSG to break the bank out? Honestly, I think that was a once in a blue moon thing that they did summer gone, spending all that money. I can't for the life of me seeing them making them sort of funds available again, especially to a new manager. I'm saying, because Slot had a first great season. The club backed him with all this money, all these players, all these signings, and it went completely south. Naturally, they're now going to be cautious and think, okay, a new manager's coming in. We don't want to make the same mistake we made with Slot, and give him all this money and it goes south again. So I feel for the new manager, he's kind of in a bit of a pickle now because of Slot, because I don't think he needs to, I don't think he gets the money he needs to really rebuild. And even if he has a good first season, the FSC will just look at it and think, well, started a good first season too. And we gave him all this money, and look what he did in his second year. So I really think that the next manager is going to have 2 good seasons. He's going to have to do well in his first year, and then he's going to have to replicate it again in his second year. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe the club will be prone to backing him because they'll see he's done it twice. But it starts to really put us in a pickle, man. He's put the new coach in a pickle for sure. I cannot see any fighters in the Liverpool team right now apart from Robbo. Name one. Genuine. None. Ramchen, absolutely none. Robertson is the only one who's fighting at the moment and showing that he cares. The rest of them look checked out. They look unbothered. They don't look like they care. And for me, that's unforgivable in a Liverpool side, man. It's unforgivable. Completely unforgivable. Shocking, man. Absolutely shocking that no one seems to give a crap. But you're right, Ramchen. Only Robbo's the only one. I can't name anyone else. I think you need to announce Alonso as soon as possible So that way the summer isn't solely focused on him. You can then concentrate on bringing in players. Exactly, Chris, 100%, man. That's why I would have bought him in January when he got sacked by Madrid, made the change instantly. Because we know it's going to be a shortened preseason anyway because of the World Cup. So that gives him less time to have a preseason and work with the players and implement his ideas. You bring him in halfway through the season, he gets a chance to work with some of the players, get a feel of the training ground and get a feel of them. Then he can have a preseason, a shortened one. We're setting him up to do. We're setting him up to not do well, man. Is what I'm saying. With everything that's going on, having a shortened preseason, and we need to make a lot of signings again. I agree. Get Alonso in the summer again. Then that way you bring him in as soon as possible. That way we don't have to, not the focus ain't around Xabi Alonso in this, that in the summer. That goes. Then you concentrate on bringing in. I agree, Chris. I think you're spot on there. Get him signed up as soon as possible. If we can get him signed up before the end of the season, great. And then focus on bringing in some players. With the system he plays, I can imagine the caliber of players we're going to look at is a lot different to what we would have looked at under Jurgen Klopp, who played a 4-3-3 primarily. Alonso plays a 3 at the back, 3-5-2, 3-4-3. I can imagine the caliber of players he'll want in the squad to improve it are going to be different to the caliber of players that Jurgen would have wanted. So it's going to be a stylistic change as well, isn't it? Going from a team that plays a 4-3-3 to completely shifting to a 3 at the back. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting for sure, Chris, 100%. But I agree with you, bro. Signing Konate will be the greatest mistake. Had a guy escape the penalty yesterday, overrated because he's in the French national team. I don't think he's overrated, Ramchen. I think he's had a poor season. I won't sit here and defend him for this season. He's been absolutely poor. Nowhere near good enough. But on his day, I think Konate is a very solid centre-back. On his day. Granted, he hasn't had his day a lot this season. But he needs to show again that he still is that centre-back and he still has that bite in him. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't done that for the majority of the season, which is a big, big problem. Big problem, you know what I'm saying? But I hear you, Ramchen. You're not the only one who feels like this. I do hear your point of view. Any valid reason why Slot is still the manager? No, I can't think of one. The only reason I can think of off the top of my head is the club see it more realistic that we get top 5 with him in charge than with the interim. So they think with Slot in charge, we're more likely to get top 5 than with the interim, which I completely disagree with because look what Man United have done under Carrick. You know what I'm saying? They're comfortably sat third now, even though they're not great. We could have done the same thing. I also feel around 10 they were kind of giving him credit in the bank for winning the league last season, so he had that. And then I also think that they were kind of hoping he'd win the Champions League for them. You know I'm saying another reason I think the main one is maybe Alonso didn't want to take the job mid-season. Maybe he did want a break from Madrid and then start again fresh in the summer. You know what I'm saying? That could be another reason. And also, Liverpool aren't primarily a club that sack managers halfway through a season and bringing it into him. We don't do what United do quite a bit. Chelsea do it as well. Tottenham do it too. We don't do that, you know what I'm saying? So I think the club I think that it looks like they're trying their hardest to keep Slot until the end of the season. They just want to do the season with him in charge. That's what I think. And then I think in the summer, they're going to switch it as soon as possible. But any valid reason other than they think they think he can get top 5 with him. They think we can get top 5 with him around. Then without him is just crazy in my opinion, but that's probably what they think. That's probably the way they're looking at it. I think the board were hoping he can turn things around. The sporting directors are definitely, Chris. The sporting directors are definitely hoping he can turn this around. They really, really are backing him, Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. Thing is though, Chris, if he was going to turn it around, he would have found a way. You know what I'm saying? He's had a whole season. He's had international breaks as well between that to sort of find a way of getting us to, start ticking again. And he's been unable to do it. He's been unable to motivate us, get us going, get us playing some good football. If he was going to turn it around, I think he would have done it earlier in the season, around November time, December time. The fact we're in April now and we still don't have a clear identity in the way we play football. Players are still not, looking comfortable in the system. They still look like strangers. A lot of our teams still play like strangers. You know what I'm saying? So I think if he was, I do agree, Chris. They are hoping he can turn it around, but there comes a point where you've just got to let it go. You've just got to sit there and say, okay, he's not going to turn this around. We have to look elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's clear. It's clear he can't get fifth position. Ramsey, the only way we get top 5, in my opinion, is if Villa have a massive capitulation and they completely fall off, or we just rely on Chelsea being even worse than we are and we sneak in through that. Because I think United will get it. I think they'll get third. Top 2 are going to be City and Arsenal. Third will be United most likely. Fourth, if Chelsea and Liverpool had a bit of consistency and something about us, we could have really pushed Villa because they are wobbling. We could have put some pressure on them, and I think they crumble. Because we're sit, they'll do just about enough to get fourth. And then it's going to be a coin flip between us and Chelsea for fifth spot, I think. And that's if both of us continue playing the way we're playing. Brentford are right behind us, and so are Everton. They could easily overtake us. But flip a coin on who's going to get fifth, man. All we can hope on is Chelsea just worse than we are, and we get it through that. And I think if Villa win the Europa League, 6th place will get a Champions League spot as well. So we could really catch life in getting Champions League football next year. We could really catch life, man. He won us the league last season, but there were poor competitions and good teams. And it was a good Liverpool team. I can see he did know. Ramsey, he didn't do nothing great. Honestly, the competition was very, very weak last season in the Premier League. We know that. A very, very weak league. This league's been even weaker, but yeah, we were just the most consistent and we were winning. That's why we won the league. And I think it's annoying to say that in hindsight because we were so praiseful of starting the summer, but that's just the way it's turned out. It is, you know what I'm saying? But I agree. Regardless of money ending his contract, he's going to make us lose more money by not getting fifth. Yeah, Ramchen, again, if we don't get Champions League, that'll be a narrative as to why we can't spend money in the summer, you know what I'm saying? That'll be what FSG do because that's what they do a lot, man. You know, if we no Champions League, no money, apparently, you know what I'm saying? Even though they were going to splash 80 million on Caicedo, was it? You know what I'm saying? No money, though, apparently. If he was going to turn it around, he would have done it by now. Yes, Chris, I agree. He would have done it a long time ago, back in November. The fact he hasn't, and he still looks clueless, says a lot. It really says a lot, man. And that going into the Champions League next season always means players thinking twice before signing. Ramsey, Champions League football is a big factor in players joining and not joining. I think we got very lucky that we were able to sign McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Endo in a year where we were in the Europa League. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen often, but it's hard to attract players when you're not playing Champions League. Only thing I can say is we're still Liverpool Football Club. We still have that pool, that aura, which will attract players. But it's hard. It's going to be hard to sign players, and it's going to be hard to keep players as well. Players would start looking elsewhere if you know this doesn't improve and we don't get better for sure. I think you finish above Chelsea. We've got to play each other as well, Chris. Yeah, we've got to play each other at Anfield in a couple of weeks' time, so that will be a big game. Whoever wins that, I think, will have the edge. But I look at both of us. We're both very poor. You know what I'm saying? That we're both very poor, man. It's worse for us because we're defending champions there in a different situation. But I hope we can, Chris. I do hope we can, man. Hope we can somehow pick that fifth spot. Because we're not going to win a trophy if we're being honest. We're out of everything pretty much. All we can do is focus on Champions League, I suppose. Not Champions League qualification, should I say? Which again, it could be very unlikely depending on other teams. But yeah, I'm just hoping, Chris, that they're just even shitter than we are, and we can finish fifth above them by being less shit. Which is just, it's so pathetic to even say that I'm thinking like that. But that's the only way I think we get top 5. I can't lie, because Villa are better than us. Fucking hate to say it, but United are better than us, the scumbags, and Chelsea and Arsenal City and Arsenal just forget about it, man. They're clear of us, man, in the table. So it'll be an interesting end to the season. It could be a shit one as well. But I won't be happy if we're in the Europa League next season. You know, I genuinely won't be happy, man. If we do another year in the Europa League, I won't be. So fingers crossed we can still qualify for the UCL. Fingers crossed, man. But yeah, guys, it's been a great stream. As per usual, man. A big up to every single one of you that's in the building. Appreciate you all. I'm going to head off now, guys. I will be back later on with the From the Stands pod. Chris, I believe, is joining. Chris in the chat, I believe you are joining, Bob. So it should be a great show with you making your debut. Big up, man. Looking forward to that. But yeah, We'll be back from the stand spot on Rasta Stocks' channel later on. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow as well. I'll have my match preview for the Fulham game tomorrow dropping. We'll go live talking about the game a bit too. Saturday we'll have the watch long for the Fulham game match reaction, and Sunday we'll do the aftermath stream. Looking forward to it, Chris, man. Grand, looking forward to it, brother. Big up, man. But yeah, it's been a great stream, lads. A quick wild call before I do head off. Big up to Chris, of course, man. The legend. Big up to Ramchurn. Who else was in here? Big up to my brother Indian Scouser. Make sure you do sub to Indian Scouser. Lads, make sure you do sub to Chris as well, people. You know. Big up to Andre. Big up to Brian. Who else was in there? Big up to Don. Make sure you do sub to Don Versation TV as well, lads. Another great one in the building. Big up to Danchum. Big up to Eros. And yeah, big up to every single one of you, man, in the chat. Appreciate every single one of you in the building. Big up to you all, man. It's been a great stream as per usual. Really enjoy it. I really appreciate everyone who locks in with me or locks in with all of us week in, week out, man. It means a lot. It really does mean a lot for me. So, again, great time, man. Discussed everything pretty much, covered everything for a decent amount of time. So, yeah, speak to you all in a bit. Profit out. Peace. Up the edge. Let's go.